Hello, everyone. Today we're super pumped to welcome Belinda from Sharding Capital. Belinda, welcome.
Thank you, Kevin, for having us.
Awesome. So can you tell me a bit about who you are and about your background first?
Thanks. So I'm Belinda Zhou. I am from China. Currently, I reside in Dubai. I am the founding partner of Sharding Capital. Then I entered crypto in 2017, actually. I'm kind of like a crypto kid because I graduated in 2016, and then I got admitted to a Dubai government's trainee program. It's under the patronage of Sheikh Mohammed, ruler of Dubai. And then he sent me to Cambridge for a year and then sent me back to Dubai. And back in the days, it was the ICO craze, right? So I got to know a lot of ICO projects, token funds and cryptocurrency exchange in Dubai. And then I got to, basically I'm from the crypto class of 2017 and have been doing crypto ever since.
Okay, so what attracted you exactly into the field?
I think it's the fair opportunity they give to young people. Because when I first started working for Dubai government, I was a consultant. And for consultancy, you need to climb up the career ladder, right? But like in crypto, even if you're very young, but as long as you learn fast and as long as you're more informed than others, people will look up to and give you responsibility and ownership. And that's very powerful. And there's not much age discrimination. And also crypto itself, it's a very dynamic industry. It's like a miniature of finance industry. So you get to learn everything in a very, very fast pace. And I personally find it very stimulating and fascinating and invigorating. So I enjoy learning new things. And especially when I'm young, I'm very driven. So I'm like a sponge. I can absorb a lot of things, and crypto basically satisfied that aspect a lot. And I've been learning a lot from that and meeting a lot of ambitious people, smart people in the space. Yeah.
So you're saying that crypto is kind of more fair and gives you a chance directly, even if you're young and kind of inexperienced. But from what I've seen until now, you need to hustle really hard. But like one of the best way to be discovered and be given more trust is through social media and following and all that stuff. But I don't believe that's the path that you took. So can you tell us a bit more about kind of what path you took, who kind of like gave you a chance, and how did you kind of sell yourself to get this chance, and what happened afterwards?
Yeah, sure. So back in 2017, right, I told you a lot of people came to Dubai for all sorts of conferences and events about blockchain. And I got to know quite some of them through those offline events. And they got to know what I'm capable of. And so I've been helping projects like ICO project with their PR and marketing efforts, including EOS, BitMEX, and quite a lot of other ICO projects. And at the end of 2017, I joined a ICO project as CMO, like head of marketing, which is a very popular phrase nowadays. But back then, yeah, I did a lot of work. I did roadshows in Singapore, in Dubai, in Shanghai, in Korea, etc. I contributed to a fundraise of 15 million back then, and I involved all the KOLs, like the popular ones in the private round, because I know I do marketing, so I need their support, and it's very helpful to include them in private rounds. So they have vested interest with the project, and they know the project better, so they can do better organic promotion of the project. So a lot of investors, KOLs, and community leaders got to know me from the work I do. And after the project got listed on Binance, I exited and I started doing angel investing in the space. So really talking with the founders, understand what they want to do, and then help them with my marketing, Web3 marketing know-hows and resources. So I can enable them to generate more awareness, acquire more users, and basically promote the product better to more crowds.
Okay, so you managed to basically not only survive the crypto bear market 2018, 19, 2020, but like kind of exit at the right time too.
Yeah,
before that happened.
Yeah, and I invested in quite some good projects. I would say like some of my angel portfolios include Bioeconomy. Bioeconomy is the team. Actually, I got to know the team from Dubai. They run like they are middleware project, and they have built a very strong ecosystem and a lot of users and traffic within that ecosystem. And I also invested in project like Project Galaxy. Now it's called Galaxy. They also did relatively well in the market, and then quite some other layer one projects like Near, layer two like Metis, etc. Yeah, so I think even though the market can be tough, but as long as you support the right projects, you'll be rewarded accordingly.
Okay. So you are a woman, which is amazing. So can you tell us how is it to be a woman in crypto? What's the good and what's the bad?
I'll start with the bad. So sometimes when I go to events, right? Because I go to events quite a lot, and if I were with my friends who are males, some of them probably see me as a +1 or like a girlfriend or like a assistant of my friend if they don't know me. but yeah, so it could happen. But I think that's getting better. And the advantage is that once people know who you are, they're super impressed with what you have done, and then they get to realize, being young, being a woman is very powerful, and they basically nowadays they promote diversity, right? So in a panel or something, they always try to include women with thoughts, with insights, and then with a different perspective. So I think now the industry has evolved, and women are more heard. And as a woman in crypto, also I think what we can do to improve the situations that when you do something, right, run events, etc., try to also encourage other women to participate or to enter the panels, or when you feel that some women are blatantly ignored by others, try to include them in the conversation. Just little by little, I think the whole thing will get better and better. But in general, I think nowadays it's getting better. But I think women also need to position themselves properly, because there are some companies who hire beautiful girls as BD. I wouldn't say who they are, but yeah, so there are a lot of pretty girls in the space, and they probably position themselves as also very attractive individual for the company, but like while having a very pretty face and like a nice figure, but also equip your mind with the right knowledge, and then add value when you talk with others. Yeah, then I think if you position yourself as that, people will give you more respect. So I think it's also how as an individual you position yourself in the space. So respect yourself, and then other people will also respect you. Yeah, but there's a lot of women, like powerful women out there that I really admire from the space, like Laura Shin, like Melton from CoinShares. Yeah, they are all like my role models. Yeah.
You're talking to a lot of you talk to a lot of VCs and builders. Like, what's the kind of ratio, if you had to give like a rough ratio of like men to women?
I would say mine is more balanced. So I would say like 60% are men and 40% are women. I talk with quite a lot of female founders and female VC partners. Yeah.
Okay.
We converse on a regular basis, and then yeah, like I think the ratio is actually getting better. It used to be like I'm like the only female investor in the room, but now it's getting better. Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you tell us more about Sharding Capital, basically? What is it? What did you guys invent? Created Sharding Capital, and who is the team behind it?
Sounds good. So Sharding Capital is actually conceptualized last year, and then we officially set up this year. So before Sharding, right, I have been doing angel investing in the space. Being an angel investor is cool, all nice and well, but I want to write bigger check size, because if you have done angel investing, you probably know that the biggest ticket size you as an angel can write is probably like max 50K and halas, that's it. But like I as a marketing person, I actually add a lot of value to project that I support. With all this intros to PR, to media, to KOLs, to communities. So essentially, I'm pumping everyone's back in the cap table. So I'm like, I want to invest in bigger check size. And second reason is that I want to build a brand. And with that brand, because with the capital, you have a brand, and that the value of the brand will compound over time. But as an angel investor, it's difficult. If the founder don't know me, then it's difficult for you to enter the early round, right? So so from last year we have been working on this. I've been looking for the right partner, and then this year we officially set it up. So Sharding Capital is a early stage investment firm. There's several differentiation points we have. First being, we are based in Dubai in the MENA region. So because I myself started crypto in Dubai in 2017, so I kind of witnessed how the ecosystem grow here, and it is a rising crypto capital. Because politically it's very neutral, policy wise it's very friendly, and then the infrastructure is here, talents are here, money is here. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and the population here is very crypto friendly, and NFT friendly as well. You can buy houses, watch, cars with USDT. So it's a very open environment, and also there's a lot of nations with currency instability. So they actually adopt the usage of a cryptocurrency or USDT in a very advanced scale. Sorry, just to clear my throat. So we're based here. That also differentiate us from a lot of Asian or US funds, because I've been scouting a lot of VCs before I started Sharding Capital, and I noticed it's a very saturated market in Singapore and in US, because the value adds everyone provides sort of very similar. So I think I want to really differentiate ourselves, and also really to add more value to our portfolio companies. So since we are based here, and this market is a lot of opportunity, but it's also very relatively close group, right? If you don't know people here, it's difficult for you to get access. So we open doors for our portfolios in this market. We help them generate their awareness. We help them with user acquisition. We help them with exposure, community building in the region, and getting access to more resources like clients, capitals, etc., even the sovereign funds, right? So that's one of our biggest advantage, and that also makes it very reasonable for project to include Sharding Capital in their cap table, because we provide them the access to a whole different market. And then the second advantage we have is that so our team is super lean. We only have 5 people so far, but we have a blockchain dev house with over 20 engineers, and they're very experienced with all this smart contract, DeFi, NFT, DAO infrastructure, etc. So whenever we need them for a due diligence on the GitHub, on the coding side, they will be able to do the researching and the analysis for us. So not a lot of VCs have that, right? They mostly have analysts, but having engineers really help you to understand the project on a deeper level, you know, how competent their tech is. Like I can analyze a team from a marketing perspective, from the way they engage with their community on social media, on Twitter, on Discord, how they craft their narratives on their content, etc. But like the tech side is also a very important metric, and sometimes the most important metric, because you need to deliver a good product. Yeah, marketing is secondary. Yeah, so.
Can you tell us about the biggest challenges when you start a VC firm?
Biggest challenge, I would say, because we are this fund actually have external investors. So in the beginning, it is a little bit hard to get external funds. Like there are funds that we get initially from people who know about us, but if for people who don't know about us, they'll be like why would I choose you over, you know, other known brands, right? Because there are other VCs who have done a lot in the space already, and they have track records. So why would they choose Sharding Capital over other funds? So that would be that's the biggest challenge. But the way we cope with it is that, first of all, we position ourselves well, and we prove ourselves. We position us as a venture fund from the Middle East, built by Asian founders. So we have connections with like the MENA region, and also Asian, and also US, and even Europe, right? And then we apart from doing project researching, investment, we also do quite some marketing events to elevate our brand. We do a lot of hackathons, demo days, and networking mixers. So we can connect the resources and, you know, get more connections in the space, and people know what we are capable of. At the same time, we keep adding value to project founders we have been talking with, and then just word of mouth. So nowadays, there's more people approaching us, including investors, including project founders, including fellow VC partners who want to share deal flow with us. So I think the challenge is initially people don't know about you when you start something, but as long as you do enough work, it's like proof of work, right? Then things will snowball. So yeah, so I would say it's a challenge, but it's also a blessing as well, because we end up working a lot harder. We hustle a lot in the bear market, so people know about us, and then and we get connected to so many talented founders and talented VC chairs and everyone in the space. So we're very lucky in this position at the moment.
Yeah, it's actually a big thing, hustling in the bear market, because there's so many people who just left, and there's not that many people left actually. I mean, yes, there is a lot of builders, etc., but like there's not that many people who basically like around kind of talking and everything. So that's when you see who is in for the long term, and not just for the 1 year every few years where everything is going up like crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, I think to really capture the alpha, you have to live it. You have to live in the space. Like I've been talking with quite some VC partners, like some VC friends as well, and some of them stopped investing, and then they were like, we won't deploy any capital for the next year because they predict it's going to be a long bear, right? And then like for us, we still actively scouting, and then, you know, deploy when there's good project, because now it's already relative bottom, right? So if you wait for the lowest bottom, sometimes tend not to happen. Like I think as a mature investor, the thing you need to realize is that you can't time the market at all. So you just need to do like kind of your cycle analysis and really deploy when other people are not interested, when there's low hype in the market. That's a good time to come in. So yeah, so I think now it's a best building season, and it's a good season to start deploying your capital, and then slowly also dollar cost average into the market.
Okay, so can you tell us about the areas of focus that you have at Sharding Capital, because probably you can't do everything. So what are the areas that you particularly love to focus on, and why?
Very good question. So, I mean, we adopt a very dynamic approach because you can't just frame yourself in certain things and then you miss out other opportunities. So we are, first of all, we are early stage venture fund. So we usually invest in seed and pre-seed stages. And then at this time, because it's like in the middle of a bear, so we'll look at more infrastructure and middleware projects where they are more like a store of value because the teams are more stable and they need time to build, right? So investing into them at this time with a good valuation allow them to focus on building for throughout the bear. So that would be a good strategy. And then as the bull slowly resumes and the user comes back, the liquidity comes back, we actually look at quite some applications because applications like can have an easier time on board users when there's liquidity in the market. So when the sentiment is there, it's easy for them to onboard. And the previous infrastructure and middleware projects we invested can also be good partners for these dApps because they build they can become support for each other. One bring users traffic, the other bring like infrastructure, tech support, all these elements needed to serve the users better. So that's the overall strategy. But there are certain verticals that we look at. So currently we look at a lot of DID projects, like decentralized identity, and then quite some NFT Fi projects, and some social Fi, and middleware. So we think these are the ones that can capture a lot of value and users because, for example, social Fi, everyone use social media, and then NFT Fi. Like NFT is a very good way for people to get into crypto actually. And then DID, everyone owns an ID, right? And then later on, the ID might follow you lifetime. So we look into all these verticals quite a lot, and we actually design strategies like how to help this relevant project to get users and do better marketing. So which is our strength, and then we actually keep track of what resources we can introduce to this project later on at different stages. So we look at these verticals a lot, and the essential narrative is that because in the next cycle, the fundamental of crypto project will be stronger. It will be similar to like Web2 companies. When you issue a stock, there's like underlying business model there, right? Like Uber, you have Uber drivers working on the ground making money. So the business model supports the stock price, right? It's like US dollars has a American economy and RMB has the Chinese economy, right? So the token cannot be the product. The token is like the stock. So the crypto project need to have proper profit model, business model to support the token price to really prove why the token we users hold are valuable, right? So there'll be more solid business model behind the project, and then this will also help the crypto to fight against the seasonality of the market, because when this bull market, everyone's happy, our projects are like pumping, but bear market, like everything is dying. But now with project having stronger fundamentals, the whole situation will improve quite a lot, and then we'll see project who will who will not be too much affected by the seasonality of the crypto cycle.
So you think this is already happening in the next cycle, that people basically, because what's happening in crypto, I mean, first, a lot of, I mean, most of the crypto has zero fundamentals. And second, so it's basically this kind of like 24/7 casino that everyone can kind of participate from anywhere at any time. And don't you think that this in the past clearly won versus the kind of fundamentals of the project, and that it's going to continue to win. So probably there's going to be good projects out there, but do you think, so what you're saying basically is that in the next cycle, it's kind of what I heard already before the cycle we had now. The next cycle is going to be more fundamentally driven. It's going to make more sense. People are going to be more rational and all that stuff. And then basically there is new things invented, you know, like for example, or things that, I mean, NFT is not new, but it's basically the real narrative was last year. I mean, since like mid 2020 to like last year. And so is there not something else that's going to be the next narrative? And that's going to be basically, that's going to fall into this, again, like kind of gambling meme stuff category versus the actual fundamentals of the industry, which probably will be there for some project, but people won't care that much about because that's not how you make the money quickly, you know? So what's your kind of view on like the, again, like I mean, you clearly stated your view. You're saying the next cycle is going to be it's going to be less of a cycle. It's going to be more kind of pockets of the industry that go well one after the other, depending on the fundamentals. Do you think it's going to happen that quickly, or do you think that we still have like 1, 2, 3 cycles, maybe a bit less extreme, or maybe as extreme, because at the end of the day, most people still see crypto as a casino, and because they're there for the quick gains.
Yeah, so I share your sentiment. It's a journey. It's gonna be a journey. Like the other day, there was a report saying that over 97% of the coins on Uniswap are rocks, right? And you now imagine the number for PancakeSwap, probably 99.9% of them are like rocks and scams. So the whole, like sometimes I think of crypto market as a whole, like an international casino, right? We're full of speculators. We tend not to like retailers, right? Cannot to care too much about the fundamentals of the project. They just care about like what profits they made from it, right? So still, the industry is still at its infancy. A lot of bubbles and a lot of speculators, which is okay because speculators are few of the market. And then the projects who are doing, like not all projects understand that they need to have proper business model. That's why we only pick the few who understand what they are doing, right? And those who understand what they want to do will excel and bring, you know, the like will be able to onboard a lot of users in the market, because what they want to do is that they want to onboard the users while not let them feel that they are coming to crypto or blockchain, because what the product or the concept they have will be like a seamless or frictionless experience for normies entering Web3. So I think in that aspect, these people are not speculators, because they're just your everyday users who happen to use like crypto and blockchain as a fundamental technology or fundamental elements for whatever they do in their daily life, right? So maybe now there's like project like read to earn, like attention to earn, watch to earn, like, and this is activity we do in our daily life, like including move to earn. Like I'm a big fan of the idea of move to earn, because it just integrates whatever we have in our daily life into an incentivized economy. I personally think it's powerful, and if designed properly, it will be a very beautiful thing we do for like we crypto do for human society, right? So I believe, you know, project with the right mindset and right design will be able to achieve that. And now, if you look at what's going on in the Web3 world, we get more Web2 founders leaving their, you know, high-paying jobs to Web3. We see a lot of Web2 VCs, you know, a lot of big because we talk also with a lot of LP investors, a lot of Web2 like listed companies or the giants are entering the space as well. And usually builders and investors shape the industry together, because one is building, the other is like also like demand side. So now we have more talents from the Web2, and then Web2 people, they have higher opportunity cost, right? Especially for entrepreneurs, because they left their high paying jobs and then they have their reputation in the line when they do a Web3 project. So they will tend to do that properly, and then try to incorporate proper business model, proper roadmap, so that the project gets carried out, and then actually contribute to the society. So people are more long term now. So I think as we talk with a lot of projects, we see that shift. Previously in 2017, a lot of people are speculators. I write a white paper, I publish a chain, and then I raise like 20 million, and then they probably just slow rock the whole community and the whole market, right? But now the conviction is stronger, and the idea and also the whole pitch deck has more substance, and the team is stronger. So I think we see the transition. Will this happen in the next cycle? I wouldn't say for sure for every project, but for sure the numbers are increasing, and the trend is getting stronger, and the momentum is stronger. Yeah.
So what do you think are basically these people entering the space? What are they focusing on? And what are the themes that are important that you believe will bring the next billion user in crypto?
Yeah, so just talk about Web2 founders. A lot of them are like coming to the space with their Web2 experience and know-how. So I think one aspect like vertical that I think they will excel is called Web 2.5, because like not everything needs to be on chain. Like it just costs inefficiency. So when you can marry the ease of usage, like the UX UI from Web 2, and then the elements of decentralization ownership from Web 3, if you can marry the two nicely well, that product will be able to onboard quite some users. So I give you some example. Like there's something called watch to earn, right? So when you're watching something, if for example, if the TV producers want to encourage the first, say, 10,000 users who watch the show, right? And then you as a user, you probably get incentivized by discovering the channels earlier, and then you do that anyways, right? You watch the TV show anyways, but at the same time, they airdrop you certain things like NFT skin, or certain IP, or they give you points as rewards, right? So I think it will be like a very seamless way to onboard users, and then with those points, they can either transition them into crypto, or they can use the points to buy other items in the market or merchandise or anything. So the users have an easy way to understand what they're doing, and also the economic incentives, and then they get to decide if they want to understand the crypto side more, or they can just do it the usual way that they are familiar with. So yeah, this kind of concept will get more shown as we see more Web2 founders entering the Web3 space, because they come with proven ideas, proven like business model. So now they're just adding the Web3 elements to make the whole thing, the economy running better. So yeah, we see that trend.
Awesome. If you had to be critical on the state of the crypto adoption today and the use cases today, like what would you say?
Still, as I said, it's a global casino. We see the other day there was a lady asking me like, why Shiba can have such a strong community and like such high market cap, right? And I'm like, the consensus of stupid people are still consensus. So the consensus of speculators are still consensus. So it's still like a global gambling ground for a lot of people. So yeah, like embrace that. We just embrace that. But at the same time, we pick the right founders who like create, who produce valuable products, helpful products for the community in general, for the whole society. So we are critical and we are aware of the situation, and we can try our best to make usage of the situation, I would say, and embrace it. Like if you are cynical about the market, then don't get involved. If you cannot take the risk of the market, don't get involved. Always like understand your risk appetite. And everything I said in this video is not financial advice. Yeah.
Okay, talking about risk appetite, sometimes we tend to take a bit of too much risk because we're very optimistic and positive. So what's your biggest mistake and your greatest learning in crypto investing so far?
Biggest mistake, right? Okay, so I've gone through several cycles. So in my first and second cycle, I think the timing to invest is super important, because you need to understand the cycle, right? And then it's okay to invest in bear. It's okay to invest in the beginning of bull. But if you invest in the middle of a bull, or towards the end of the bull, then it's very clear your capital will either be locked, or just that everything got wiped out, because usually the founders just ran away with their money, or they just soft rock you, or they don't deliver, and they go on to run another project. So the timing of investment is super critical. That's why we see, right now, now we will run a fund, so we have clear time frame, like when we invest, when we build, when we invest, when we exit. So I think
when you do, yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah. And then also I think HODL sometimes is a scam. You need to understand, we are, of course, we are long-term with the project, but we're long-term with the value we identify for the project. So we tend to, kind of identify, say, we think this project is like a 5 million market cap project. So when they are like in a private round, like angel private, or even like pre-sale, if it's like if we're very bullish about the project, the team is strong, the narrative is getting more trendier, then we will also invest at maybe like 80 million or something, so that we can capture the upside of the project. So when the market cap is like, after it's launched, when it's like about 500 mil, then we'll slowly exit when the market liquidity is good, right? And you don't wait until they go back to 80 million and then you exit. That will be painful. And then
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then you need to also identify if like the project you invest, and then you kind of see they're not so good in development afterwards. Then you identify their value as in like a market cap probably only like it may say 100 million. Then when it's closer to that, you don't HODL. You need to exit, because HODL is for people who don't actively research or who are not actively involved with the market. And for us, we are living the space, right? So we need to understand what's going on and then make the right strategic decision. Yeah.
So what's the moment you would not invest after? So is it like, for example, you'd say, the majority of the gain is actually made from bear market until, let's say, Bitcoin previous all-time high, and once Bitcoin or ETH reaches previous all-time high, basically that's not the moment to invest anymore, because it's kind of too late, because you could still do amazing returns, but the risk you're taking is too big. Like how do you basically time how do you kind of timestamp your bull market, because you don't know how long it's going to last, you know? What's the middle of a bull market? You're kind of saying until middle you can kind of invest, but after that you cannot.
So our projected timeline, again, NFA, we think that the bull will slowly resume at the end of 2023. So we will slowly exit our project like in 2024. But that's a dynamic time frame, so it could change according to different events of the market. But we'll do that accordingly. And then I think for the majority folks, right, who are not as involved in the market like us, because we watch everything going on every day in the market. So what they can do is like they dollar cost average, right? They could dollar cost average the lows, you know, and then when it goes up, you just see if the sentiment is very, very high. If it is, then slowly exiting your bag. I think that would be like a sensible strategy for normies who don't watch the market as closely as us. And then again, never try to time the bottom or the top. No one can do that. Yeah. So once you realize that, you just do a milder strategy and don't really day trade. Day trade just ruins your life and it wastes of time. Yeah.
Yeah. The exit when the sentiment is high is easier said than done. Probably that's where the experience of the cycle is really useful, because you probably got burnt once and then you realize, oh man, like I kind of recognize the pattern. And I also remember being burnt so bad last time. I'd rather sell a bit too early than too late.
Exactly.
Okay, so last question. What's something that you believe in crypto that you think most people would not agree with?
So this is a very tough question. Let me think about it. Something that's correct in crypto, but not.
That you believe in crypto, but that you think most people would not agree with.
I think crypto will become I think crypto will be used as a world currency in the future. Maybe not in when I'm alive, but it will be.
You mean world reserve currency?
As in like a currency that can be universally used by any nationals in the world.
Okay, wouldn't you say that it's kind of the case already, with everyone being able to transact Bitcoin or ETH or stable coins like fairly easily?
Actually, that is true. But I think that there will be probably one universal currency that everyone can use. The world's like everyone in the world gets connect better this way, and then there will be like a identity connected with the currency. So you know, everyone probably has their on-chain credentials, and then the currency will also reflect the DID status and everything. So I would kind of perceive that it's like a bit like Black Mirror, but I think there'll be more numbers and the data on chain that reveals the person and how their status are. Yeah.
Okay. So basically a currency that's recognized by everyone and not by the crypto fans, because for the moment there's quite, I mean, less and less is being taken more and more seriously, but there is still a lot of people who say this is just funny money and it's never going to get anywhere. So basically what you're saying is that there's going to be a cryptocurrency that's going to be widely used, and actually no one will be able to say that it's funny or useless, because it's just going to be there and used by most people, right?
Yeah, probably you are born with that thing. You're born with that thing, and then you know it just records your whole journey throughout your lifetime.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. Where can people find you, or read more about you, about Sharding Capital?
So I'm very active on Twitter. So my handle is Ciao, like the Italian Ciao Ciao, Ciao Belinda Zhou. So you can always find me there. My DM is open for founders especially. So yeah, give me a ping if you have a pitch deck. Feel free to send them over.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much.